back to That Horror Couple. I'm Kaylee. And Rob's drinking liquid death.
And I'm Rob.
And we just got back from seeing Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Oh, we got a new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
But everybody's talking about this upcoming fight. We get Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Okay,
and everybody's
yeah, I've heard
like,
of that.
oh, it's going to be an incredible matchup. And I'm like, why are we focusing on that? Because with this movie, we got the rematch of rematches. Venkman versus environmental douche Gregory Peck.
There you go.
This man has no dick.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
That horror couple.
Oh, yeah.
That horror couple.
It's us.
That horror couple. That horror couple. And they talk about horror.
Like and subscribe. When the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters new and old must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. Directed by Gil Keenan, starring Paul Rudd, Harry Coon, Ben Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Kamal Nanjiani, Patton Oswalt, and Celeste O'Connor.
Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. What do we like? What do we dig? Tell them about the Twinkie, Ray.
I loved the fact that we had Bill Murray back.
It's true. This man has no dick.
I have
Hell
to
yeah.
say, he made he was in it a few times. I was really happy about that. Spoiler warning, actually.
He was Venkman, and so he had his one-liners.
Yeah.
He was funny in this movie, just like he was in all the Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah.
Unlike Afterlife, we actually saw him for like a few minutes, and
Yeah, it was longer this time.
He had a few good scenes.
Yeah.
He wasn't the main character, but like we saw a little more Venkman, which us hardcore old school fans appreciate.
It's always nice to see Venkman.
I'm from the era when MTV played videos.
Jesus Christ,
Come on, buddy. I was just
what the hell is going on in here?
Yeah,
Alright.
he's ancient.
I'm old, so I want some old school Ghostbusters
Yeah.
vibes. You know what? They kind of brought it. The cast, we got, of course, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, Venkman.
The environmentalist.
Yeah, Gregory Pecker.
Yeah.
Peck.
We had podcast back from
Right.
Afterlife.
We got Janine, the secretary. Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Annie Potts. Yeah.
So we got a bunch of like old school vibes. This movie starts off strong.
Chase scene through New York, the streets of New York City.
We got Slimer back.
We got
too.
Slimer. He was eating all the
We got
Cheetos.
Slimer back.
Yeah, and he was fighting with Trevor, the oldest son.
What I like too is like not only do we get the old school characters, but we got it's a great sequel to Afterlife in the sense that for the younger crowd that just saw Afterlife and nothing else,
That's true. Yeah, you can still enjoy it.
They can just pick up where like
Where the last
Afterlife
one
left off. Yeah.
Without watching the original
Yeah,
film.
so like
yeah.
I enjoyed seeing Finn Wolfhard podcast.
Phoebe, yeah.
great.
And Paul Rudd, what's his name? Gary in the
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
Oh, Paul Rudd's great.
He's so
Yeah.
funny, and he doesn't age.
Oh, who was the god of fire? That guy was.
Oh my god, Kamal Nanjiani. Kamal Nanjiani, who played Nadeem in the movie, he was so funny.
Dude.
I loved his comic relief. I didn't realize we needed like another character for comic relief because it's a super fun like series, but I really enjoyed his addition to the cast.
Well, I feel like they did what they were supposed to do. I feel like
they brought back like the original
They
people.
kicked it old school, but they didn't just rely on nostalgia with this one. I feel like they kind of let the younger
Added some new stuff in for the
they
new
let like the younger people like make
Add
the jokes
to it,
and
yeah.
to have the cool action scenes, and there were plenty of cool action scenes. There were some cool action scenes. The movie starts off strong. We see Ecto 1, we see proton packs, we see traps, we see the contamination unit. Light is green, trap is clean. All the old school fans will like that stuff.
That's true.
I used to have the action figures of the Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's so cool.
With the firehouse,
Yeah.
and you could like dump the slime and it like went through the roof down.
Okay, that's really neat.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Maybe I can insert like a picture here
Maybe
when
you
I'm
can-
editing.
If you're over 40,
You know that, yeah. We got to see a familiar face that we recognized from the two Babysitter movies. She was actually in Dr. Sleep too, I believe. Emily Lind, she was Cole's best friend in the Babysitter movies. She's really pretty. I was like, I know her.
She was a friendly ghost, like Casper.
Like Casper.
Oh, no, please don't scream. I promise I won't hurt you.
But blonde and a girl.
I was getting a Casper vibe
Yeah.
from this friendship they had going on.
Yeah.
That was like a side story going on.
She
but
befriended Phoebe, or tried to.
the main story here is Nadeem goes to Ray's bookstore, or whatever it's called, which is another
It's
shop.
like an oddity shop.
Yeah, which is another callback to Ghostbusters 2. That's where the store started from. So I was like, yeah, Ghostbusters 2, represent. And he drops off like this sphere, this phantasm style sphere. Boy! You know, if you mess with it. Yeah, boy! And if you mess with with it, or it could be like the box from Hellraiser. Either way, but Ghostbuster style.
Yeah.
Not as evil. More fun.
Yeah.
Turns out that this sphere came from his grandma or his family's ancient history. Turns out his family's the god of fire,
Yeah.
and this is the god of like frost.
Yeah.
And like snow and cold.
Yeah.
So it's like heat versus cold, battle of nature. Let's go.
Isn't there a claymation like Christmas movie like that? Like Jack Frost versus like the Firemeister or something?
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
This movie, it's like, you know, it's like a guy fighting shrinkage. It's very hard to fight that. You know, I did like Winston's character in this movie. He's
Ernie
like,
Hudson,
he's like,
yeah.
he has like an underground lair of like, he's like a scientist.
He's like a cool scientist.
Yeah, but he has all these ghosts like in experiment like things. So, and the looks of the ghosts in this movie were really cool. And I thought they did a good job of making it feel like a Ghostbusters film, but with today's technology where everything looked so much better than it did in 1984.
Yeah, it was like clear
I mean,
and crisp.
the-
Even though it's CGI, it looked real.
The
you
ghosts
know?
did look really cool, and they did look kind of cartoony, but it's a Ghostbusters film.
Yeah, so they're supposed to.
You know, Ghostbusters was like, it was a video game, it was a cartoon, it was a comic book, it was all these things. So I didn't mind the look of like a cartoon ghost, and I thought the main ghost was so dope looking,
Oh,
dude.
like the god of
Oh my
frost
god,
or whatever.
the god of frost.
Whatever
And
his name was. The ancient
Yeah.
god that was stuck in the spear.
Nadeem finds out that he's the god of fire, or it's in his DNA. He's like, all right, let's go, fire versus frost, let's do it. And
Mortal Kombat.
And now we got the new crew and the old school crew all teaming up. Proton packs on.
Yep.
And it leads to this epic battle
Yep.
in New York. Meanwhile, Gregory Peck is trying to shut down the firehouse.
He's like, I condemned it for once and for all.
Yeah, dude. So you get the rematch of all rematches.
Yeah.
Venkman and Peck meet again. And dude, I was just laughing when I saw
That was
I
such
just
an awesome
laughing.
part of the movie. Yeah.
I was laughing. I was like, this is so good.
It
I
was so
like,
funny. I loved that because I have only seen like the first two Ghostbusters like a couple times. I know Rob's like more well versed on them, but I remember that scene from the first movie with the two of them arguing.
And even though this is a kid-friendly movie, wasn't there a point where Venkman was grabbing the booze?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had it hidden and he was like, time to have some courage.
Yeah, dude.
It was such a good,
It was a good movie.
fun movie. This is the kind of movie that I'm happy that we went to see in the theater. The last two we saw in the theater were not good and not worth going to see in the theater, and this one really was, and
When
I'm very
Blumhouse
happy.
sucks.
Yeah, well,
And the
this,
movies ain't good.
well, this was good.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so this feels like a breath of fresh air after
Yeah.
watching all the crap that came out this year.
Yeah.
At least we got something where, like, going into it, we're not disappointed walking out of it.
No, it was so fun.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
of course, I didn't like this as much as Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Well,
but
yeah.
I knew that going into it.
but it's just a,
But you know what? I walked out thinking, hey, I like that just as much as Afterlife.
Yeah, it
I
was
really
cute.
do. And it wasn't as sad as Afterlife.
No, it was more
It wasn't.
upbeat. Yeah.
It didn't get me crying
Yeah.
and feeling like a bitch.
Yeah.
It wasn't so like, you know, heart tugging, but it was still sweet. It was
Yeah.
still sweet. It still had the family dynamic. It was a good sequel to Afterlife.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Honestly, I don't really have any, and to even think about dislikes, I don't really have any dislikes about the movie really, because I thought it was just it was so fun, well done, like entertaining. It just hit every mark for me for what I think a Ghostbusters movie should be as like a casual fan of the movies. So I definitely don't have any dislikes or
Why
anything.
wasn't Rick Moranis in it?
I don't know, or Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, I don't know.
But we did get Patton Oswalt.
Kept saying he was making bedroom eyes. Mom, he's 80.
Dislikes of the film? You know, I would just say it's a Ghostbusters film, so it's kid-friendly. It's more fun than anything else.
It's not scary. If
I mean,
that's what you're
yeah,
looking for.
If
Yeah.
you grew up like I did watching Ghostbusters, you're old now, and it's not going to have the same kind. You're not going to be jumping out of your seat in the same
It's
way.
more made for
Yeah, but
younger generation.
I was still enjoying it because I'm like in a young at heart kind of way. Like
Yeah.
this is fucking cool. Like this is really cool, and it was cool seeing the old school cast. And so but I feel like this is a better sequel to Afterlife than it is to like Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Of course, yeah.
I feel like if you haven't seen like Afterlife, you're not going to enjoy this as
Yeah.
much. And I feel like if you're just a fan of 1 and 2, and you jump on and you see this, you're going to be like, what am I watching?
Yeah, so you need to
know?
see. Yeah, you need to watch Afterlife if you want to watch this.
But if
one.
you watch Afterlife and then put this on right after it, I think it will flow.
They go well
It'll
together.
flow really nice. So as far as dislikes goes, be prepared that it's kid friendly and it has a Ghostbusters vibe, but it doesn't have the same vibe as like the early ones.
Okay.
You know, it's more of like the Afterlife vibe.
Okay, yeah.
We also got a Ghostbusters like motorcycle.
Oh yeah, that was was so cool.
That was rad.
We did. That was really awesome.
I don't know, the god of fire and the god of frost. Did that remind you of like the gatekeeper and the keymaster a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Aim for the flat top!
As far as final thoughts of the film, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I would buy it. I would watch it again. I enjoyed it. It was super fun. We definitely recommend going to see it in the theater if you're able to. So 8 out of 10 for me.
That's what I was gonna say, 8 out of 10.
Okay, well, good score.
It's an 8. It's an 8 because it was everything I wanted it to be. It was everything I expected it to be, and I like how it wasn't as sad as Afterlife. I really do. I like because Afterlife kind of went for just nostalgia mostly, and at the time I appreciated it. But I'm glad they kind of
in this one it was more about like fun.
I'm glad they kind of took they took the story like in its own direction. The story just didn't rely on the old school cast. Like these younger people took the wheel on this, and I feel like it worked.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I'm looking forward to another sequel if they're making one.
Yeah,
and they could definitely make one.
Yeah, I think so too. So if you guys have seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, you want to comment down below, let us know your thoughts, let us know your score, let us know your thoughts. What did you think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you not? Make sure you're hitting the bell to be notified when we drop all of our new horror movie reviews, horror movie trailer breakdowns, Walking Dead videos. Make sure you hit the bell, guys. Make sure you're subscribed.
There's also an after credit scene.
There's also an after credit scene.
And let me just say, these mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Men,
they're cute.
They can drive.
They're super cute.
They can drive a vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything else.
Yeah.
Just stick around after the credits.
Yeah, make sure you stick around for the mid-credit scene. That was really cute. Yeah, make sure you're checking out our store, guys. We have a store through Spreadshop now. If you go to our main YouTube page next to our community tab, we have a store. We have beanies, shirts, hoodies, pins, hats, taps, that kind of thing. So make sure you're checking it out if you're interested.
All kinds of goodness.
Yeah, it's right next to our community tab is our store tab. So if you click that, it'll take you right there to Spreadshop.
But what about our friends and fans that, you know, they don't want to buy merch necessarily, but they just want to throw a few bucks our way?
If you just want to donate, we have a super thanks button, like right down here, like right down there. So if you want to donate, you can definitely do that. But please, if you guys could, just subscribe because it says a certain percentage of you guys that watch our videos are not subscribed to our videos. So make sure you're subscribed to our channel and hitting that bell so you can be notified and watch all of our stuff.
What the hell, guys?
Yeah. No, but for real, thank you guys so much for your support. We appreciate each and every one of you who take the time to watch our videos and like, share, comment, all that good stuff. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Once again, I'm Kaylee.
I'm Rob.
And who you gonna call?
2 in the box, ready to go. We be fast and
they be slow. We'll see you guys soon.